Thanks, Dylan. I'm here with Max Dagley to talk some Texas football after last week's thrilling win in OT against Mississippi State. Welcome to the show, Max. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Absolutely. So let's get started. So, Max, after a 62-yard shovel pass that ran straight through the teeth of one of the country's best defenses to put Mississippi State up 17 with 12 to go, any meeting Texas season had looked to be lost. How was this team able to come back to keep their SEC hopes alive? Absolutely. You can talk about a lot how the team has performed this year, but you cannot question their heart. Steve Sarkisian has built a team that has tons of heart and is never out of any game they're playing in. Next question. While the 40 Acres will never forget the instant classic from last weekend, sights are set ahead as the number 9 ranked Vanderbilt Commodores, never thought I'd be saying that, come into town after last week's performance. What are some areas Texas will need to specifically focus on to keep their momentum going? Yeah, and Vandy coming to town this year, before the season when Pavia was talking about the national championship, he wants to win Vandy national championship, I was like, dude, are you joking? Are you serious? And now he's coming in. They have one loss. Texas, they have another chance to make a statement this week, and Texas has to be at the top of their game. Last question. So this team has been a tricky one to understand this season, and though it was not necessarily a pretty victory, the comeback we just saw speaks to the resilience of the roster like we were talking about. Give us your thoughts on the identity of this team, and if the game told us anything about the Horns can do on the road. Exactly. The games before don't matter right now. If Texas can execute their plan these next 4 games, they will find themselves having a chance to win the SEC championship. Great analysis, Max. Now let's send it back to Dylan at the desk. Welcome back to College Press Box. It was a busy week for women's sports on the 40 Acres as Texas volleyball won both of its games, keeping its undefeated season alive, while Texas soccer ended its season on a high note. Also, Texas women's basketball is starting to ramp up in preparation for its highly anticipated season with multiple exhibition games. Now let's go to Dylan, who's with our next analyst, to take a closer look at these teams. Thanks, Emma and Dylan. When College Press Box returns, we'll be taking a deep dive into Major League Baseball and the World Series. You won't want to miss it. Thanks, Dylan. I'm here with Tyler Strimple to talk about the World Series. How's it going, Tyler?
It's going great. I'm excited to be back here on Press Box on today's Sports Equinox. All of the sports on today. What a great day. I love October.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. We're 2 games into the World Series. What are the biggest stories from the series so far? Well, yes, all to play for in the series. And what a nail-biting series it has been so far with both the games, just being pretty hectic so far. Going into Game 3, what does each team need to do to win the World Series?
Well, that's a great.
Pitching is going to be key for sure. So after 2 games, who do you think will win the series, and who will win the coveted World Series MVP? Wouldn't that be something? With all the stars in the series on the Dodgers side, but also on the Blue Jays side, Alejandro Kirk winning this World Series MVP. Personally, I'd be here for it. Great analysis, Tyler. Now back to you at the desk, Dylan. Welcome back to College Press Box. Let's take a look at this past week in Longhorn sports. Number 5 ranked Texas men's golf team finished runner-up behind the Florida Gators at last week's Williams Cup in Wilmington, North Carolina. This marks the team's 2nd runner-up finish of the season. Texas was led by star sophomore Daniel Bennett, who shot 6 under over the 3 rounds, finishing solo 2nd on the individual leaderboard. Now the Longhorns will have a few months of rest before returning to competitive action in January to open the spring season. Last week, Texas senior linebacker Trey Moore was named as one of 16 finalists for the 2025 William V. Campbell Trophy. The trophy is annually given to a student athlete who shows excellence on the field, academic success, and exemplary leadership. The winner will be announced at a ceremony on December 9th. And that concludes this week's episode of College Press Box. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to tune into our other shows this week, including College Crossfire, Wednesdays airing at 9 p.m., and the 1-0 Sports Show on Fridays at 11 a.m. Also, we invite you to follow our coverage on Instagram, X, TikTok, and YouTube at the handle TSTV Sports. Thank you to all of our analysts, everyone in Master Control, our executive producer Kendall Unger, and all of our reporters in TSTV Sports. I'm Nolan Clay. He's Dylan Becker. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful night.